by the lakeside. Gotta do it while we're young. In a moment it will all be gone.
Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a video that a few people have asked me, not everyone, but a few people have asked me if I'm kind of doing this again this year because it's things I've talked about in the past. So I thought, you know what, I'll do a fresh new video and just share it with other people that haven't seen it and maybe give you guys some ideas on kind of, I'm showing you how I do things. Doesn't mean it's the right way, but maybe it'll help you within your budget and everything when you're thinking about Christmas or even birthdays really, but Christmas is what I'm kind of focusing on now. The reason this has come up though is because of this. The Big W toy sale is starting next week and I thought, you know, people have asked me, are you going to do a like a full-on shop with me through the store where I show everything? I've done that so many times in the past. It takes me honestly 2 to 3 hours to do, just to do the walk around, and then I've got to edit and everything. I haven't done it this year because I just thought, I have taken Isabella through and I did a little video and that should be here up on the channel, but I'm just focusing on what Isabella's looking at, not absolutely everything in the store. It's mainly girl stuff, all of that. Go and have a look at that video. But the reason I didn't want to do a whole thing was I'm trying to not encourage you too much just to go spend your money for no reason. I want you guys to really think about it obviously and see if you really need it and all of that. So I'm trying not to do so much shop with me's in Kmart and as well and Big W, Target, you know, all of those things for you guys, because I myself am not going there as often as I used to. I'm not spending money like that. I'm kind of trying to save money and really think about, you know, if we need stuff and, you know, putting money into our holidays. That's basically where our money's going, holidays and the kids' schooling. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm not doing it. But with the toy sale obviously coming up, I did obviously film a little bit there. We have gone through the catalogue. I kind of gave it both to the kids. Joseph's older now, like he's 14 this year. So there's not much in here that he really wants, you know. He's circled a couple of gaming things and that's probably about it. So it's mainly Isabella. Now what I always tell her when she goes through this is have a bit of a look, circle things, we'll let Santa know. Doesn't mean you're going to get everything, and she definitely doesn't. Both the kids don't get everything they want because I have a system which I'm going to share with you. But it just gives us a bit of an idea. And what we did do was I took Isabella through and we had a look at the stuff she circled so she could see it in person, and I did record it because I thought, oh, I can get a bit of a gauge on what she actually really did like and what was interesting to her, because it was a natural reaction. So that's kind of what I did this year. Now in the past, last year, I'm trying to think whether I did this last year. I feel like last year because I was working, I felt like I was really late with Christmas again last year, and definitely the year before because we'd been on a massive road trip, so I kind of left it to the last minute. But previous to that, and what I'm doing again this year, is I'm trying to be much more organized where I can be. It is difficult as the kids get older to sort of lay by things earlier in the year and pay things off and get stuff along the way. It is harder to do that because they change their mind, especially as they're growing up and getting older, you know what I mean? So it's a bit more difficult. But then there are things that I know they'll definitely want and definitely like. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of, yeah, you really got to sort of think about it. This year, the toy sales here, it's just reminded me that I should start looking at this stuff, setting my budget for Christmas for each of the kids, and really thinking about what I'm going to do. And if there is anything at Big W that I can put on lay-by now, because the thing is with Big W, at this moment when they do this big toy sale, they let you have a 20-week lay-by. So one, you can just pay it off, which is really good, but two, they store it for that amount of time. I think pickup, actually let me check the pickup date, and the lay-by fee is cheaper this year too, which I'll talk about. But yeah, so the lay-by fee this year is only $3. I can't see the cancellation fee. I never cancel though, but I know people do, like they put on thousands of dollars worth of stuff and then cancel it. I don't, so it's not too much of a bother. But last year the cancellation fee was $20, so plus a $15 lay-by fee. So last year it was $35 to cancel lay-by. This year it's $3, so if it's still $20, it'll be $23 to cancel your lay-by. But it's still worth it. Oh, the date, that's what I was looking for, wasn't I? When it had to be picked up by. Just by the 8th of November. So then I don't have so much time, like I don't have that long to actually hide stuff, so I'll be looking at getting a few things at Big W, not necessarily toys, because you can lay by anything apart from food and clearance items. But if you wanted a vacuum cleaner, if you need a new vacuum cleaner, because Dyson, it's expensive, you could lay by it for 20 weeks if you really wanted to. So just think about that, because it is worth it doing that, because it doesn't have to always just be toys. It can be clothes, it can be anything. A very, very long time ago, I created some printables for myself, which in turn I ended up sharing with everyone here on the channel, and with my VIP members as a free printable. So I thought, I just designed this for myself to keep myself in check. That's basically what it's about. It made me think about the budget I wanted to use, and that is going to be different for everyone. If you want to spend $5,000 and that's your budget, fine. If you want to spend only $100, then that's your budget, fine. It's really an individual personal choice, and I'm not judging anyone for anything, you know what I mean? It's your money, you spend it how you want, basically. What I am saying is just have a budget and try to stick to the budget that you set, because obviously if you have set that budget, you know that that's what you can afford. So I have a budget, plus then I also wanted to make sure I had kind of a system, so I wasn't just going crazy buying this, that, everything, you know what I mean? As far as especially toys for the kids when they were little, I kind of reined it in a bit and just tried to think about it a bit more and be a little bit more strategic. So that's kind of why I did this. I've got 3 printables here, which I'm going to give you a better look at them in a second. One is a gift planner. Basically it has from Santa, from parents, and from any siblings. We've got a wish list, which is something I use this. I write it down myself. I just know what the kids want, and Isabella writes a letter to Santa and stuff, and I kind of write a wish list through, you know, the coming months, even back straight after Christmas. You know, I might start doing it from January sort of thing, because I'll kind of refer to that too for like birthdays as well, you know what I mean? So, or you could give it to your own child and get them to write a little wish list for Santa. You could do that too. And then there's also a stocking filler one. The reason I have a stocking filler one is because I don't tend to fill our stockings with just junk. Like I don't just put, when I say junk, I just mean the little cheap plastic toys and stuff they're going to use for that day or for an hour, and then they're going to get thrown in the bin. Like I try not to do that. So back in the day I used to put things like DVDs, you know, when DVDs were a thing, we'd put a DVD in there, do you know what I mean? Or a game. I fill it also with toiletries is another thing. Maybe some socks and stuff. Just, I usually do put some sort of lolly in there, like a lolly Santa stocking or something like that. I do try to put something like that in there, something fun, but otherwise it's very specific generally. Sometimes I might put a small toy in there, but it's usually something that's not a little cheap plastic thing from the reject shop. It's usually like, it could be you know, the game Uno or something like that, something, or an LOL ball for Isabella. That's always a good one. I've done that in the past. So I try to really think about it with the stocking fillers, and I do have a big budget for it because I'm not putting all the cheap stuff in it. So I do have that. On each page, I have the name of the child, their age, and their budget. Generally, that's what I try to do on every single page. And then say for this one, the gift planner one, which I'll go through in a minute, I have, you know, a column for gift, the shop that I could get it in, because I sort of researched that, a budget, and then the price that actually ends up costing me. Because if I've got multiple things written down, then if the budget's say $100 for something and I spend $80, I know I've still got $20 there if I really wanted to move that $20 into another section, like another section of, you know, say the Santa shopping. Because for Santa, I try to stick to a system with Santa. So basically Santa does something they want, something they need, something to wear, and something to read or educational is what I do in that last bit. I have a pretty good budget for each. The something they want is something that they want, but it's the something they really want, like the number one thing, we try to give it to them instead as the parents, because we don't want Santa to outshine us. So we want to give them the good things. So we keep it for that. But the something they want is something else. The something they need could be anything. It could be like if you gave a bike, Santa gave a bike, then the helmet could be something that they need. I don't know. It's something they need is very broad. It could be anything, honestly. Like a game for a PlayStation, if you gave them a PlayStation, or I don't know, just something like that, you know what I mean? It's very broad range. There's something to wear. I actually have upped the budget on this. I did up the budget last year and I'm doing it this year. I'll have a good significant budget too, because the something to wear is clothes. But what I do is I think about the clothes that I'll need to buy for the next year, and instead of giving it to them through the year or getting it through the year, I get it and, you know, put it away for Christmas, and it's just something they're going to get anyway. So they think, because I wrap it all separately, I could have a dress here and wrap it, I could have underwear here and wrap it, so it just makes more little presents, but it is under the one umbrella. So that's where I kind of try to make it a little bit more fun, I guess, because they love opening the presents. Who doesn't love opening presents? So I just, yeah, I try to split the presents up if I can. Even the something they want, like if it was 2 different parts or something, then I'd just wrap 2 parts, do you know what I mean, just to make it a bit more fun. But also obviously in thinking with the something to wear, for example, anything I think I'm going to give them in the next year for school, or like it could be school shoes, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. I've done lunch boxes before, drink bottles, that kind of stuff. I've wrapped all that up. It's stuff I'm going to buy anyway, so it's not like I'm spending extra. It's money I would be spending anyway, so I kind of just put it into that now. And then there's something to read or educational. I've made it or educational now because there's only so many books, you know, your kids will read and need. Like if my kids don't need anything, and Joseph's not a big reader these days either, so I don't want to waste money on too many books for him that he's not going to read, do you know what I mean? So I changed it to the or educational quite early on because I realized that there could be just something that they would help them, you know, learn some sort of learning device or books or activities or something, then I put into that section. So I've been doing, even if it's like art stuff, educational for me, it's a thing, you know, having that creativity and all of that, it's part of their schooling. Isabella's very good at, she loves it, so I like to put that into that section as well. And then, like I said, from the parents, from us, we usually just give them a main gift. Maybe we might give them an extra piece of clothing or something like that, maybe, but the main gift is a really thought out thing. And then siblings, I only have 2 children, so they give each other a present. I make sure they do that. I have a budget of about $50 for them to do that, and the reason I do it is because I want them to know and learn how to give to other people, not just take. So it's important for me to make them do that. They do enjoy doing it, but it's just, I don't want them to just always rely on me buying the gifts and stuff. I want them to really think about it. So I do get them to do it. Now, if I had 3, 4 children or something, I would probably, Rachel does this actually from one of a dozen, but other people I know did this when I first started this. They would just do like a pull a name out of a hat, and what was it called? Oh, what's it called? Like Kris Kringle type thing. They pull a name out of the hat and that sibling would just buy for that person. So they're not buying for every single sibling, but they're at least buying for one so they can think about it. So, you know, it's just an idea on what to do. So that's kind of my main gift planner. I'm going to talk about my budget in a minute because I know people want to know about it, but like I said, it's just personal to me. It's not something you should have to do. But yeah, let me give you a little bit of a closer look at this just quickly, and then I'll talk about me setting my budget. So here's a better look at the main gift planner that I do. So you can see at the top I have the Santa section with all those sections, like I said, the parents, that's us, and then the siblings down the bottom. This printable here is just the wish list. Like I said, you could give it to them and they can fill it out for Santa, or you can, something you can use to keep track of things obviously through the year. So this one has just the description, maybe the shop if you've seen it in the shop or they've pointed it out in the shop, you can write it, and then a rough price. The price actually is a really good thing to do because if things go on sale then you kind of know, obviously it's a better deal at the time. And then the stocking fillers sheet here, which is pretty much the same. So in this one I sort of, it could be socks, the description could be the size or something, or the brand, you know, that I want, the shop where I think I'm going to get it, and a rough price. It just helps me stay on budget because up the top here is where, if you can see that, so you put the name, age, and then the actual budget that I have for each thing, I write in there, just so I can keep better on track. Just touching on the budget thing. Now, like I said, it's different for everyone, it's personal to you. For us, we usually, for Christmas and birthdays, we we do buy big ticket sort of items. For example, Isabella, we did a big trampoline. We knew Joseph was going to use it too. And it's something we wanted, but we don't buy that kind of stuff through the year. We kind of wait till birthdays and Christmas. So when you see us buying that kind of stuff for the kids for their Christmas, we don't buy it through the year. Like, we don't buy things through the year now. If they actually want their own toys and stuff like that now, we also don't really buy that stuff for them. We make them manage their pocket money and actually save up for it and do that now. So I just wanted to point that out there, because obviously for some people this is probably going to look crazy and go, oh my gosh, you're going to spend that on them. For others it might be less than what you spend, obviously, but that's where we're at. The other thing is, my kids, obviously we have Santa and us get them presents. They don't have a whole ton of relatives that they get extra presents from. So what they get from us is really it. Aside from mine and Johnny's parents, they actually get them something for Christmas and their birthdays most of the time. So they don't have, Johnny and I have brothers and sisters, but they don't buy them presents. They don't get presents from aunties and uncles and things. We just don't do that. So it is very much just, you know, what we get them, and that's sort of it. So just keep that in mind when obviously I'm showing you how I do my budget and where it's setting at. I wouldn't normally go and show you guys the budget. Obviously I'd be like, oh, it's kind of personal, whatever. But I've had so many people ask me kind of where I'm gauging at, especially with the cost of living going up and stuff. So I'm going to share it with you guys. Alright, so if you have just a budget you think that you want to spend in total, and maybe you split it between 3 kids or something, then you would write it up here and maybe work from there. I don't do it that way. I actually think about how much is reasonable for each section, and that's how I budget it. So I have thought about it, I've added it up and thought, okay, yep, that seems all right. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I work it. So this is what I'm setting for this year. Now this changes from year to year. It could be different from last year, it could be the same. It just depends what's going on and kind of where we're at. I am working outside of the home now, so we do have a bit more money than what we used to. So I do kind of allow for that as well, just to give you a brief set of this. All right, so from Santa, there's something they want. I'm doing a budget this year of $150. Something they need, I'm gonna say $150, because the kids are getting older. Like I said, it's not something little usually that I'm sort of working on, so I kind of need that, in my opinion. When they were younger, that could be like $50, and it was like $50, because it could have been like just, I don't know, a new bag or something that they needed, basically. Something to wear, I'm actually gonna put that at $100. And usually in that I always include underwear and socks, but there'll be a few other little things that I can put in there too. And as things go on clearance through the year after the seasons, that's a really good time to get cheaper stuff, so you can get quite a lot for that in the end. And then there's something to read or educational. I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna say 100 on that too. So I might, for that section, say for Isabella, maybe get her some books, but then maybe get her some other things that she could use, like her art craft stuff, for example, which, you know, helps her with all her school stuff as well. So that's kind of where I'm thinking for those. For the main gift from us as parents, I'm gonna put a budget of $200. I think last year I had that at $250, to be honest, but I think I'm gonna just try to have it at $200. And then the gift from the sibling will be just a flat $50. That's pretty much been the same every year. That's kind of enough, because it really is about getting them something that they want, obviously, but also just the thought of actually giving to someone else. The total of that is $750. And then Joseph's going to be the same. Even though Joseph's a bit older, I do want to try to stick to that as much as possible. We were thinking of giving him something that was very pricey, but I think we might stick to that for maybe his birthday perhaps, or something. So yeah, for Christmas it's $750. Now stocking fillers, I'm trying to think about stocking fillers and thinking about the things that I'll do. I'll definitely do like toiletry stuff, some lollies, things like that. I've done, the budget in the past has been $50. I might just up it to $60 and see what I can get for that, to be honest. Just because the price of things has gone up, so I don't know how I'm going to go with my normal stuff that I buy. So we're going to sit that at $60 for each of the kids. Okay, so the total of all of that together is
$810.
Right, so the total for that is $810 per child. So that's $1,620. I kind of, like, Johnny and I don't buy presents for each other. We don't do that. We do make the kids I make the kids go and get Johnny something, and he'll go with them and get me something, again, just to teach them what to do. But we don't really want anything too crazy, so we kind of just you know, we don't have a huge budget for that type of thing. Santa does bring us stuff as well, but it's stuff that it's just stuff I can wrap up, to be honest. So it might just be things I was going to buy anyway, but Santa will buy it for us. So it could be socks, obviously, clothes, anything like that, then he'll sort of do that. But again, it's just stuff that I would have been purchasing anyway, so it's not too much of a bother to me. In the past, we have done things like give experiences, and which is wonderful. So if you can do, like, holidays, obviously that's going to blow the $800 budget for the kids, but it's a holiday we were going to go on anyway. Look at last year's Christmas. I have got it here on the channel, and we surprised the kids with, we are going to do our trip to America. So we surprised them with that, and we kind of revolved a lot of the gifts around that, and we did that as extra gifts, to be honest, because we did like a surprise thing out of suitcases and stuff to show them. But you know, we've done that because it's stuff we're going to do anyway. So my advice when it comes to Christmas, a lot of the stuff you get, you know, if you're going to buy it anyway and you're going to have to buy it, like school stuff and that, just wrap it up for Christmas. It's not like you're spending extra money, because it's the money you would be spending anyway after Christmas. So just give it to them for Christmas. It just adds to the fun for them. They can unwrap it, not wrap it up. You can wrap it up, and they can unwrap it and just have a bit of fun. So yeah, that's kind of how I work things. So, but this budget here of $810, that probably sounds high to some people. For me, it's pretty reasonable. I'm gonna say, what is that, 20? If I was to put everything on lay-by, I guess, which I won't, a lot of this stuff I'll buy through the year, but just say up until November 8th, which is the pickup thing. So say 16, what is it, 16, 20, I think it's a 20-week lay-by. It's about $81 a week if I was just lay-buying everything at Big W. I probably won't do that. I'll just pick up bits and pieces here and there, but especially toiletries and stuff, obviously I'll just get them in the groceries or something. But for me, that's reasonable for me. I can do that. Do you know what I mean? So you want to set a budget, and then you want to calculate how long it will take you to pay for stuff if you're lay buying it, and see if that budget per week is something you can afford. Okay, that's what I would do. Now, the other thing is, obviously the whole reason why I want to show you guys this and give you an idea on doing this, it again will just help you stick to, you know, your budget and what you're doing, and avoid you just buying stuff through the year, here, there, everywhere, and then getting to the end of the year and going, oh, I've got too much stuff, I don't know what to get them, maybe I shouldn't do this, or you've got X amount of things for this child but hardly anything for that child, and then you feel like you have to buy more for that child. Like, it just helps avoid that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing this year. This is what I'll be using if there is anything I want to lay by at Big W. So I just want to share it with you guys, and yeah, see if you guys would like to do that as well. Now those printables, if you would like them, they are back on the This Mum at Home website on the shop. It's cheap. It's like $4.95 for the set, but if you are a VIP member, you get them for free. So all you need to do is put it into your cart, use your discount code, and you can print them off for free, and start working out your budget, especially if the toy sale's here and you're actually going to it. So yeah, I'm excited to hear your thoughts in the comments below on whether you're going to do this, and whether you've done this in the past, when you've seen me do this in the past. Yeah, definitely be nice in the comments, guys. Don't attack other people for whatever they're choosing to do and spend and all of that. Keep it nice, because it is an individual choice on what people want to spend. It's up to them what they want to spend their money on, okay? So play nice in the comments, or I will just delete them. But yeah, otherwise guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you guys probably tomorrow. Bye.
The things that we'll do, 'cause I